So if you want to decide if something is a solution, in this one right here, my equation is 23 equals 31 minus y. And it gives you the y value that they want you to substitute in. And then you decide if it is a solution or it isn't a solution. So we want to start off with the original equation. So in this case, that's 23 equals 31 minus y. And then we're going to go in and replace the y with the number 6. So if I replace y with the number 6, I've brought down the 23, the equals, the 31 minus, and then I'm going to put in its place the number 6. And if I simplify 31 minus 6, we're going to end up with 25, bringing down that 23, and that is not a true statement. 23 is not the same as 25. Since that is false, then I'm going to come up here in my table and say, is the number 6 a solution? So I want to say no. Okay, and then you just do it over and over again with a handful of numbers. So it's saying, well, how about the number 26? Is that a solution? So if I start with the original equation, 23 equals 31 minus y, and then I come in and I replace the y with the number 26, we go ahead and simplify 31 minus 26, and that ends up being just 5, and 23 is not the number 5. So since that's a false statement, once again, 26 is not a solution. So I move on to see if 8 is a solution. So starting with the original equation, 23 equals 31 minus y, I replace the y this time with the number 8. Okay, so I'm going to replace that with 8, and then 31 minus 8, oh my, happens to be 23, and 23 does equal 23. So finally, we found one that's true. So in my chart, I want to say that 8, yes, it is a solution. Don't be alarmed, like there's sometimes where every single one of them doesn't work. And then you start to doubt yourself because you're thinking, uh-oh, I feel like at least one's gonna work. Maybe a little overkill. I'm gonna do just another example really quick to make sure you've got it down. So this time my equation is x minus 26 equals 10. So I wanna start off with that equation, but this time I'm gonna replace the x with the number 36. And if I make that substitution and simplify, 36 minus 26 is 10. So 10 is equal to 10, that's true. So I'm gonna come up here in my table and indicate that yes, the number 36 is a solution. Okay, here, if I check 51, I'm gonna go ahead and start with my original equation. I'm gonna replace the x with 51, but 51 minus 26 is equal to 35, which is not 10. Since that one's a false statement, then up in my table, I'm gonna come up and indicate that no, that's not a solution. Feel free to work on this topic while I do the last example if you've got it down. If I have 45 equals 35 plus m, I start off with my original equation. It wants to know, is 80 a solution? So I'm going to replace the m with the number 80. When I simplify 35 plus 80, I end up getting 115, which is not 45. Since that's false, I'm going to come up here in my table and indicate that the number 80 is not a solution to this equation. I could try the number 7 in my original equation. So let's replace the m with 7. And 35 plus 7 is equal to 42. And that is not a true statement. So since that's false, I'm going to come up in my table and say no, the number 7 is not a solution. This time I didn't find any that worked, but again, don't be alarmed. Sometimes none of the ones that are given to you work.